Hello, and welcome back to Agile Driven Impact.
Hello.
And today, in our pit stop, we are going to be talking about adapting for success and how it is that you can fix your daily check-in.
Yeah, nearly universal complaint that I see when I work with teams is things like our 15-minute check-in takes 30 minutes, sometimes even an hour, even if it just takes 25 minutes, whatever. It's exceeding the time box, dragging down the team's momentum, creating a time sink, and people are frustrated with it.
Yep, pretty universal complaint across industries. I hear it and see it too. So when we think about that daily check-in, doesn't matter what label you're using, daily scrum, daily huddle, daily check-in, lots of labels that get used for it, but the purpose of that check-in, quick, internal coordination among the team, maybe some discussion about some adaptation. It is not a status report. You're all awesome. We're all awesome. We're all busy doing things towards our awesomeness. It's a commitment that we make as a team towards checking in on progress towards short-term goals. And so, quick, time box. Wait, why is it 15 minutes? Why is that important?
Well, I think that's a good one too, because oftentimes I'll work with management or others that are like, well, I don't want to meet every day. Let's meet 3 times a week, but let's make it 30 minutes. And you're always like, well, that's kind of weird because that's actually more time. So why 15 minutes? Why is 15 minutes so important? Well, it's short enough to keep focus. Everybody's focused. Some people call it a daily stand up because sometimes the body language of standing, if you're able, can make sure it stays within 15 minutes. Um, but it's long enough to uncover any roadblocks that threaten the short-term goal. So that's why it's not 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but it's 15, right? So doing it 3 days a week at 30 minutes, I would generally advise no. Why not do it 5 days a week, 15 minutes? So that's why it's 15 minutes. And that's what I think is typically what we try to encourage teams to do.
And if we think about like the fixes, what is it that is probably
Yeah,
one
how
of
do
the
you actually
biggest
keep it in?
issues? It- People are trying to do too much in the 15
Yeah,
minutes. They're super optimistic about we can accomplish all these things in 15 minutes. And what's often happening is not a quick, here's how we're doing towards the goal, here's an impediment I have. It's okay, so we're going to dig in and we're going to not just identify roadblocks, but we're going to resolve them in these 15 minutes. And I'm super
yeah,
excited for your optimism that you could do that, but
yeah. It's
it
not really,
rarely
yeah,
happens, right?
hardly ever.
Unless the answer is, here, restart your tech, click that button. There's something more
Right.
complex behind it in any team setting.
Yeah, so the daily check-in is like the warning light on your dashboard, right? The light turns on means a roadblock was mentioned. The driver, the team, they don't pull over and fix the engine right away. They schedule a separate pit stop or a follow-up meeting, or two people are going to meet right after just themselves after the check-in is actually completed. So it's often good to have a little bit of time open after the check-in. Ask everyone to keep that 15 minutes after the check-in open so there's time to resolve that stuff. If there is no problems, great. Just you go back to work.
Yeah, that's an awkward spot on the calendar anyway, right? So if you save it for just a potential
Yeah,
little bit of space to fix the thing, otherwise, isn't that some extra nice time to go get some more tea or coffee or something?
yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. All right, so that was one of our big problems, not in the time box. But what's the other one? It's really that we're seeing teams that are not focusing on that short-term goal.
Well, and that's why they blow out the time box,
Yeah,
right? So they're thinking about everything and anything,
yeah.
right?
And if they're not focusing on the goal, what are they talking about instead? Yeah, all the little baby tasks. I did these 10 things and you're doing these 10 things.
Yeah.
So the discussion in this 15 minutes needs to be about progress towards short-term goal, impediments impeding progress towards short-term goals. Again, we're all awesome. We're busy doing great things. We know there's lots of tasks and individual activities. Focus of the daily check-in is about those short-term goals. With that sort of laser focus, your odds of staying in that 15 minutes goes way up, right?
Right. The check-in should be a commitment to peers. Each team member is reporting to the team, not a single manager or member, right? Sometimes we've seen facilitators of this meeting kind of jeopardize it by being the person at the middle of it all and everyone is talking to them. Instead, it should be people making commitments to the other peers around them. Here's what I'm going to accomplish before we meet again. It's a commitment and with that commitment, it drives the idea of, hey, there's something in the way for this commitment because you're trying to create a self-managing organization or a self-managing team to do this. So everyone's coordinating with one another on how to meet this shared objective. together as a team.
And one of the things that you mentioned, the facilitator for this particular meeting, whoever that might be, whatever their title might be, the thing that really helps individuals to facilitate this 15-minute time box well is something that's visual about the work. Something, whether if you're fully remote, something digital that's on the screen, everybody can see it. Or if you're all working in the same
Right.
space, you're in a room or a meeting space that's got everything visual for folks on the wall. But that physical or digital visualization, maybe it's a Kanban board, right? Maybe it's a digital project management tool. Now everybody's seeing the same thing. We can
Right.
point to work, we can move work, we
Yeah,
can touch
pointing really
it.
matters, right? Pointing at stuff, saying this is moving or this is stuck. That can really, really help. And doing that before the meeting is also helpful, right? Have your stuff updated as you come into the meeting so that you're not using the meeting to update everything. That way people can see, oh, these things are where they are now. The other one that can help is having a parking lot or some type of follow-up list ready to go. So that way, when a detailed problem does emerge, someone writes it down and says, hey, this is important. Let's discuss that with the relevant people immediately after this meeting is over, right? That way we get the time box hit, but important topics are also not just shuffled underneath everything.
Yeah, and we've heard people say parking lot, 16th minute. Heard a colleague in the UK call it the mop-up space. I think the thing that's important about that concept, if you use any of those ideas, is that it's the people who can stay, who want to stay, who can help. The chime box, the check-in is over.
Yep.
Folks might stay for just a few minutes, see if you can get the things done, and get on with the rest of your day then.
Yep.
But I think, when we look at these 15-minute check-ins, whew, the reason some folks will roll their eyes about them is because of going over that 15
Right.
minutes over and over. Oh, that one took us
Yeah,
47
then they just
minutes.
stop coming or they say I don't have time for this meeting anymore if you violate the time box.
Yep. So hopefully we've given you some fixes that'll help you keep your daily check-in within those 15 minutes. And as a way, what we're hoping, it's going to help you continue to drive your impact.
Right.
So let us know how it works or what other problems you're having related to your daily check-in. We want to say, hey, thanks again for being with us, but also thanks to our sponsors, Agile and Nonprofit. They are helping nonprofit organizations around the world to think about creating impact in a sustainable way, but at a faster pace. So thanks for being with us and keep driving that impact.
Yeah, see you next time.